Kyrie's angry. He's so angry. He's always angry.
He's
looking
leaving
at
this
Jason, looking real pissed. Looking down the bench, looking pissed.
Not saying much or yelling during timeouts, but always one or the other. Always pissed. Welcome back to Throwing from the One, a.k.a. the Kyrie's Leaving Show, a.k.a. the Dana White's Dirty Draws Show. Episode 34, Throwing from the One, here on the final day of February. I feel like it's mostly bad news. It's mostly stuff I'm not pleased about, I would say.
Yeah.
We do have a Bruins Minute today, so stay tuned for that. I know everyone's excited. We're saving it for the end, so stick around. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm happy about. Do you want to do baseball stuff first?
Sure.
Okay, so the big deal is Bryce Harper signed.
Yes.
For 13 years and what is it?
$330.
$330 million.
No opt-out, no trade clause.
No opt-out and a no trade clause.
That's hardcore.
So he has $330 million guaranteed.
Baseball,
dude. I mean, that's one of the greatest NBA careers of all time from a financial earnings perspective on this contract.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
might be the greatest.
This is probably his only contract.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I guess, yeah, is he coming off his rookie deal right now?
Yes.
Well, plus probably arbitration stuff. I don't understand how baseball salaries
I don't know how
work.
many. This is probably like his 5th year in the league.
I don't know. I'm gonna look him up. I mean, I don't think this
How
matters.
old is he? 26, 25?
He's 26.
Yeah, so he'll be 39, 40 when this contract is up.
Yeah, so this is his career. This is it for his career.
Yep. Fine career.
Which, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. And it's baseball, so they can't, what are they going to do? Release him and pay him $30 whatever million in his age 39 season or whatever? Yeah, probably. Probably what they're going to have to do. Chances are. I mean, what are the chances the guy is contributing by that time?
Like I said, I literally can't think
seasons
of a 10-year plus deal
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, that's not how these guys' careers work. If you're that good by the time you get to the point where you're signing a 10-year deal, then it's too late. There's not going to be 10 more years. It's just in any sport. I mean, and I don't know why. I mean, I get this is the baseball way though. It's if you have money, you throw money at it, and preferably obscene guaranteed sums, large single sums.
Decades.
Yeah, decades. I don't think this matters for baseball, having him move for this. The Phillies aren't back. Him and Gene Segura, maybe they're better, but also, are the Phillies a national team? I mean, having Philly as a legit baseball market would be good for the MLB, but what is the buzz if the Phillies start making playoff runs? Who cares about the Phillies? Do people? Am I wrong? I don't feel like that's a maybe it's because they're losers, but I don't feel like that's a nationally beloved brand.
No, not really.
Phillies hats.
I mean,
you see more Orioles hats than Phillies hats.
Not Jordan Howard.
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard
Yeah.
and Cole Hamels Phillies team that was good through the late 2010s, I guess.
I was gonna say, well,
that was a fun team, but not because they were the Phillies. Just it was a fun team.
I guess.
Shane Victorino, wasn't he on that team? I think so.
At some point, yeah.
The Flying Hawaiian.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even there, we're talking about 5 years ago, and I don't know. I mean, we're on the downslope. We didn't put it on the topics list, but they've confirmed that the pitch clock's getting kicked down the road until 2021.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which potentially they're saying they're gonna be talking about the 3-batter limit or 3-batter minimum rather for pitchers next season. Stuff like other rule changes, but is all well and good, but at the same time, then what are we waiting for with the pitch clock?
Yeah.
It's the one that you need the most.
Yeah. I personally, I think the batter minimum. I don't really like that approach.
See, I don't love that rule either.
Yeah.
For sure. And the pitch clock. I mean, the pitch clock accomplishes the batter minimum. Like I don't know the only, but the good reason for it is just to save time, so
Yeah.
you don't have to watch these terrible management duels. Which, granted, they are terrible games to watch a lot of the time. It's brutal when the 5th through 7th innings take an hour legitimately in a baseball game, which happens. It's hard to watch. That's a problem. But also, if we put a 20-second or whatever short pitch clock out there to where these guys are throwing pitches, that makes a huge difference in the watchability of the game too. I mean, guys that work, like watching Chris Sale is pleasurable because you can sit there, continuously watch a baseball happening, as opposed to, okay, let's show 3 pan shots of the crowd.
Let's get rid of box so they can just like step on the rubber and whip it.
Get rid of box?
Yeah.
The batter's box?
No, box. BALK.
Okay. I don't know if that's the solution either.
Get the ball, run the back to the mound, touch the mound, and just whip it back to the plate.
I am down for more. I mean, honestly, the faster the better, and the more things happening, the better. So yeah, I'm honestly not opposed.
The wind up.
Don't ban necessarily, Jeremy, but I'm down to encourage alternatives. Why did you make a Mariners an M's are killing it? Have they been doing other bad stuff? I thought they already lost everybody.
Yeah, no, but they're like 4-2 through spring training, so.
Oh, they're actually playing well in spring training.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congrats. Enjoy it while it lasts. Yes. Yeah, dude. I wouldn't hold out your hope for that one.
The Phillies opening day, like starting ticket prices went from $40 to $86 after the Bryce Harper news broke today.
I wonder how much money they're making per season off of him. That would be interesting for someone with more motivation and time than me to look into. But I'd be curious to know. It's not $33 million. It can't be. But still. I mean, maybe it is if he wins him a World Series, but that's not how baseball works. It's definitely not how he works to this point.
Can't even get to a league championship.
No, he can't.
'Cause he's soft.
I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. Those Washington teams underachieved for sure.
Yeah, I think they were the favorite to win the National League like basically every year.
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe the
that's
Dodgers
possible.
last year.
That is possible for sure. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's baseball, folks. Thank you for tuning in.
Kyler Murray isn't playing baseball.
Yep, that's right where I was going, Jeremy. But he is 5'10", and we care.
And 207.
Do we care?
And he has 10-inch hands.
Okay, so the hand size actually is bigger than the height to me.
Yeah.
Because if he's 5'9.5" with big ass hands versus 5'10" with big ass hands, I don't care if he's at that rate. I barely care if he's 5'9" flat. I don't care. 5'9", 5'10". That's the part I don't get. Where I say this as someone who's 5'9" and 3/4. I know what that 5'10" mark means, the extra digit you get to add on there. But at the same time, functionally speaking, he's still 5'10". He's not big. Sorry, he's small. He's short. Like, he's still short. What does this change? He's still short. He has big hands. Good. He's still short. Still a baseball player.
I think.
I'm just kidding about that. I'm not holding that against him.
Well, I mean, I think 5'10" versus 5'8" is something.
Well, 5'10" versus 5'8", yeah, but 5'8".
People were talking about him clocking in at 5'8".
Well, that's not. I mean, that just seems.
I don't think the weight really matters because
he's not. He doesn't look like Dion Lewis out there.
No.
Like he's not that.
No, but Russell is 5'10" and 3/4, so you get almost 3 inches shorter than the shortest guy doing it.
But no one. That's my. I don't understand how people could be saying that he's 5'8", 5'6", or 5'7". I mean, like, he doesn't look that short. He looks 5'10" to 6 foot to me.
It's hard to tell exclusively through the television.
Yeah,
they were talking about him not doing certain drills just because they didn't want a shot of him and Haskins together.
Well, that's stupid. I mean, that's. I don't even buy into that because that's not. NFL teams aren't watching the combine on TV, so I doubt that's playing. The TV shots are not playing any role in his combine process. That sounds like TV people getting a little self-important there to me. Frankly, I don't think in general the combine as a whole means that much to him. He's gonna have a fine 40 number. He's gonna look fine in the drills.
I think he secured a top 10 draft pick with these measurements.
With being 5'10".
And the hand size. I think the hand size matters as much as anything.
Well, it definitely matters as much as the 5'10", but I don't know. I don't know about that. I think teams, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't put it past any NFL front office, but I think if you're letting the combine make your decision on whether or not this kid is a top 10 pick for you, that's not the question. The question is whether or not you believe in him as a gamer.
John Clayton thinks he's going to go to the Redskins.
Where are they?
Like 15.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
Because he thinks the Giants will try and get Haskins.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. Everyone is wrong in the NFL draft, so I honestly just don't have that much energy for it because it's a tote.
Not everyone.
For the most part, and when they're right, they get lucky. Or I mean, you can know that a team is interested in a kid, but like
who was the last number 1 pick to just like bust? Jamarcus Russell. I mean, there's been guys who weren't worthy of the number 1 pick, but straight up like, weren't like a starting
but
caliber
that's number
player.
1.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. And
once you go out of the top 3, it gets usually in the NFL, it gets a lot less consensus. There's typically, and also the consensus top 3 a lot of the time is hype based in the NFL. I feel like NFL prospects in general get hype plays a bigger role than other leagues leading up to the draft. Like I don't feel like in the NBA, I mean maybe it's because in the NBA these guys have had their hype building since they're in high school for the most part, so there's no more like, whoa, we did this crazy thing at the NBA Combine, because we all have known that Zion can dunk from the free throw line forever.
No one pays attention to the NBA Combine.
Well, but that's what I'm saying though. There's
like not even on TV.
It is
on NBA Network.
Well, yeah, but still. Well, but the NFL Combine is on NFL Network.
Like live, but ESPN has still been going to it all week.
Yeah, I mean, but this is more to the. I mean, yeah, that's my point.
The NBA Combine is in like a gym.
Yeah, but my point is that there's hype around. You're not just like. Yes, there's hype around the NFL Combine. It's unjustified, in my opinion, and I honestly think teams get caught up in it. And yeah, the reason is because there's this rabid football. People just want more, even if it's not good. Which, frankly, the Combine is not. It doesn't. Who cares, dude? The Combine is, as a TV product, and people watch it.
I don't think that many people watch it. I don't even really watch the Combine.
Some people do. I mean, people do. I don't get why. Yeah, I don't get why the NFL Combine is televised and covered the way that it is.
Because someone will watch it.
Well,
and there's nothing else better to put on NFL Network in February.
On NFL Network, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But the NBA TV covers their Combine in full. NHL Network covers their Combine in full. The NHL Combine is in a locker room. They ride bikes. Like, that's pretty much it.
The underwear Olympics.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like NFL teams get caught up in hype, which maybe it's because there is no draft hype for NBA and NHL teams to get caught up in, and MLB teams for that matter, I guess. But for some reason, I feel like NFL teams, like when there's this swell of hype around a player, he'll end up going number 2, and I don't know. I guess I don't know if the hype emanates from the league or gets into the league.
Well,
I just think hype ends up. I don't know.
I think what we've seen in recent history, at least, is it's been the bad franchises that fall victim to the hype guys.
Well, yeah, because it's dumb. I mean, good franchises don't get caught up in what they hear on SportsCenter, for sure, or papers or whatever. All that also, boils down to the point that I don't have that much energy for NFL draft talk. I think it's mostly just standing around.
I've heard more and more about Drew Lock going like in the top half of the first.
Don't know who that is.
That's the third quarterback in most people's eyes, Missouri's quarterback.
This is why I don't have energy for draft talk, because I don't care about Missouri's quarterback that's going to be out of the league in 2 years. Chances are.
I don't know if he'll be out the league in 2 years.
No, but why do we need to be talking about Trevor Siemian months ahead of when the future Trevor Siemian even enters the league?
Because he's goat-mean?
No, it's like I don't know. NFL, you have no idea in the NFL with a lot of these guys, and in terms of prediction and what you can tell about a lot of the guys, I feel like either everyone can tell from the outside or you just can't tell unless you've interviewed the kid. But it's like, yeah, we can all stand around here and talk about who the obvious freak athletes are, who had the best seasons in college, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, none of that means anything, or shouldn't, I guess, in the actual evaluation process. It's separate from the actual NFL evaluation process. It doesn't end up being connected to the actual draft results. It's just this NFL like echo chamber of just creating more NFL content just because. I mean, we do it. We're an NFL focused show, and the NFL has not been in session for a month.
Yes. It's exciting times, Walk.
It's not.
It's almost free agency.
It's not exciting
almost.
Times. Nothing is happening.
People are getting suspended.
Sort of.
Guys are tampering.
I don't even know about tampering. I mean, guys are always tampering. When is anybody who wants to or is going to be a free agent, when is there not tampering? It's like every free agent. Who doesn't talk to their friends?
The Jets are going to cut Robbie Anderson, apparently.
Okay. And?
He's a solid wide receiver. I'd be okay if the Seahawks pursued him.
Yeah. I would be pissed if the Patriots pursued him as a solution.
Gotta get OBJ, dude.
They placed a second-round tender on him. I'm definitely not giving up a second-rounder for that guy.
Yeah, probably not.
Draft a receiver.
I don't think the Seahawks even have a second-rounder at the moment. I'm sure we'll trade our first-round draft pick because it's what we do.
Yeah, I think there is value to that in the NFL if you're low in the first round.
Yeah.
Because low first, I feel like once you get past really the top 10 to 15, the next 30 picks tend to be the same pool of talented but not quite top 15 guys. And there's generally a round or two of guys that are
or they're
good
the guys who could have been top 10 picks,
but they have problems.
Smoked some weed.
No, right. Exactly. But that's like, wow, all of the players that just popped into my head are like bad examples and guys who didn't work
Tunsil. He's okay.
Aaron Hernandez was the first thing that I was going to say, was that's where you can find Aaron Hernandez.
OBJ.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, it's there. Yeah, there's a lot of really talented guys, and then once you get down into the 4th, 5th, 6th round, you're looking at long shots for the most part, for sure. But
/ greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Long shot though, and not obviously talented, or definitely not with any hype. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't know how to transition out of NFL draft talk, but let's do the guys getting in trouble, which is David Irving and Randy Gregory for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
Randy
Gregory is like suspended indefinitely, right?
And the Cowboys have already said they weren't even like gonna re-sign him anyway.
Okay. Well, yeah. And David Irving did what?
Smoked the weed.
Can't do that. You can't do that when you get your random test.
Especially when you failed before.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say. Unless they failed, you get tested like once a year. Yeah. So it's not that hard in the NFL, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to stay clean. Like, there's tons of guys blazing during the off season. Mm-hmm. I've heard stories about Richard Sherman, amongst others.
There's tons of guys blazing during the season.
Yeah.
You get tested once a year. Like, you wait till you get your test, bro. Once a year. Yeah. I mean, but then and then it's another thing once you've been caught and continued, because then the testing does get more frequent and you're looking at throwing your career away like Josh Gordon, which, I mean, it does seem like half the time the guys who end up getting caught once end up getting caught. It goes on. It's not like with PEDs where they tend to get caught and be like, shit, I can't do that anymore. And then it's like a wake-up call, and typically you don't see a guy get popped multiple times in a career football for PEDs.
Yeah.
Staying off the weed.
Well, I think in Edelman's case, it was probably like, we're just going to take our chance with this, like, get back strong and fast. And, like, if I get caught, it's 4 games.
Well, yeah, I mean... Yeah, but I think that goes on to some extent with a lot of players in that league are on some kind of banned substance, and it's always that calculation.
Or when, like, basically all of the Seahawks TVs got caught with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's the benefits of enhancing their performance versus filtered through the risk of they might not even get caught, and then you compare it with you might get a fine or a suspension. Let's make a couple Pro Bowls. We'll see about a fine and suspension later. Speaking of Pro Bowls, though, and Seahawks DBs and everything, the Earl Thomas tampering, is that that's what you're talking about, tampering? Him and the Cowboys being lovey-dovey?
Yeah.
Did he tweet? What happened?
No, there's just rumors he already met with the Cowboys.
Oh,
and he's not supposed to.
No, you're not supposed to do that. But is he an unrestricted free agent?
Yeah.
So so that's done.
Yeah. No, okay. I don't think anyone had any illusion that he was coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you can do now if you're the Seahawks is like,
well, they're gonna
put out an all-page Seattle Times thing saying thank you, and then hope like in 10 years you can still retire his number.
Yeah, straight up. They're gonna pay him, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like I think he's
Sherm's also trying to get him. They asked Richard Sherman about it, and he's like, "I want him on the Niners," and I'm trying to convince management to pursue him, but I know if it's equal money, he's going to the Cowboys.
Well, and the Cowboys, given the Cowboys' way, will probably match whatever, so it'll be equal money. And
they got paid Dak. They either got to tag or pay DeMarcus Lawrence.
Nah, I bet you they can make it happen.
They got to pay Zeke.
They got to pay Zeke and Dak. True. I don't know what happens with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, they can tag him.
Sacrifices must be made.
Oh, there's no way they're letting DeMarcus Lawrence walk out the door.
Sacrifices must be made.
They'd rather have DeMarcus Lawrence than Earl Thomas.
Well, I don't think it matters. I think they can probably have everybody. Cap space in the NFL is pretty easy to come by. I'm sure they can release
Oh, they also got to pay Byron Jones. And I mean, he's coming off a Pro Bowl season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
they got a lot of guys with their hands out.
Yeah, but that's how it works in the NFL, and then that's how
Lisa,
it always
can
works.
I have some more?
Well, so it's either it's either yes or it's a shame, but that's what happens when you draft talented players in the NFL. You end up making decisions and having to replace some guys. They can make the cap space. They can't have everyone, no. But they don't have to. I mean, they're not paying Dak right now. Right now, they can have everyone. That's the beauty of the NFL is you can figure it out later.
Well, yeah, they could not pay Dak technically
right now. Yeah, and I mean, even the NFL, you can move money around. They can release guys in the season and make money disappear and
helicopter.
Well, the money, the real money is not the issue for them. So that's the thing. It's always the how much you're actually paying versus the cap hit. If they don't care about the cap hit, the real money is not the issue. Jerry will spend for Earl Thomas. Jerry loves stars. And Earl is right up his alley, as a matter of fact. I mean, he's, I guess he's right up any owner's alley, but
he does love Texas.
That's the thing. He's, he wants to be a Cowboy, and that's just Jerry just rubbing the nips over that one, guaranteed. Also, another Cowboys note, sort of, but more a Monday Night Football note, the return of Jason Witten to football.
Yes.
On the field, likely not that impactful.
Yeah.
He was pretty done in his last year, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even say that. He's Jason Witten. He's not a new age tight end.
I guess
he blocks. He's the security blanket tight end.
Yeah, but I feel like even in his
he probably had 600 yards and 4 touchdowns his last season. If I had to take a stab in the dark at it,
I feel like less yards.
500 yards.
560 his last season.
How many tuds?
5.
Almost.
Yeah. I mean, I guess his last.
No, it's clearly a leadership move.
Yeah, I think it's clearly.
There's stories about Jason Witten bringing the locker room to tears with his speeches.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, clearly he's better at talking in a locker room than on Monday Night Football, so it sounds like this is better for all of us because he was a rock on that broadcast. And I don't mean like he anchored it. I mean like he was like a lump of stone standing there. The ESPN, that Monday Night Football broadcast has been bad in different ways in the last years, but it's just always been bad. And last year it was simultaneously boring, annoying at times, sometimes just inane on a Collinsworth level when they would get going with Boog and start arguing about stuff, and you're like, how are all three of you totally wrong about this?
Bring back Tony Kornheiser, dude.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to see what they'll do because that's one of the big slots, and frankly, I don't understand why ESPN struggles to put together a football broadcast. It's a pretty easy TV sport, honestly.
The rumors are Nate Burleson is one of the top contenders to take his spot.
I don't know. That could go either way,
yeah.
I think. I like Nate Burleson, but I don't know if he can carry that much weight.
Greg Olson.
That would be interesting because, I mean, he's a more entertaining version of Witten.
Yeah.
But he seems dumber. And Witten came off as kind of dumb at times. So, but, honestly.
Like when he broke the trophy and then just still tried to hand it to him anyway. They were trying to put it together. He's like, no, take it. Take the top half.
He's an ogre, dude. Yeah. Yeah, Greg, I mean. But ultimately, if he's willing to embrace that, then that's not a bad thing either. I mean, he can be the dumb guy. He could be Gronk type of character on a broadcast, and I'd be intrigued.
Now you see what I would have done here is I would have been really big,
and then I would have thrown him out of the club.
Yeah. See now what I would have done here is I just would have turned around and used my giant ass to push him out of there.
His giant ass and robot arms.
Beep boop.
Yeah, I mean, the Witten thing, good riddance as far as I'm concerned on Monday Night Football. We'll see what happens there, and I hope the Cowboys implode and don't fire Jason Garrett. That would be the best case scenario for me.
Clap, clap, clap.
Johnny Manziel got kicked out of the CFL, and we don't know why.
No.
Nobody knows why?
No.
But for conduct, is it conduct detrimental to the league, or he broke a league policy?
He broke a policy that was specific to his instatement in the league.
Oh, he broke a Johnny Manziel can play. Oh, I thought it was a general. Oh,
No.
It's got to be drugs or strippers or something. He did a Johnny Manziel thing because they wouldn't have built in anything into Johnny Manziel's contract that wasn't a Johnny Manziel thing. Like all the stuff that they listed, like what? I mean, it's either a regular Johnny Manziel thing or it's worse.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be putting don't do better than the stuff you've already done bad stuff.
Yeah. Well, presumably if it was like domestic violence or anything like that, we would have heard about it. So
sounds
like
a
assume drugs
thing to me, especially with him, which honestly, he's like one guy where I don't even like to make light of it. I mean, it seems like that guy has very real, actual drug problems.
Yep.
Not like Josh Gordon. This is a guy who it's more than can't stay off the weed because he likes to have a joint and isn't smart about his tests.
Josh Gordon, why do you smoke weed? Because I can.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
but
can't. You can't.
You could also make a lot of money if you didn't smoke weed. Because I can't.
Yeah, no, but this is not. I mean, this is, Manziel is the Josh Gordon situation. This is not the Ricky Williams situation, much less the who's a guy who just got popped for pot once or twice. I don't know. That's the problem. They tend to get popped. Whatever. We don't need to. Oh, Lev Bell.
Yeah, Lev Bell.
Like Lev Bell. This is not a guy who had one rowdy night out with LeGarrette Blunt with a blunt and ended up, failing his test by bad luck and then was like, shit, I can't smoke during the season anymore. Johnny Manziel everybody knows.
We know. Everybody knows.
Yeah, and it's probably the end of this guy has a football.
There's still 2 more leagues to work his way through.
The thing is, the XFL, man, it's too good. It's too good.
You're
Johnny
telling me
Manziel
he
in
couldn't-
the XFL.
You're telling me he couldn't take Christian Hackenberg's starting job?
He probably could take Christian. So, yeah, he could probably play in those leagues. I mean, the CFL is better right now than either of those leagues, I would say.
The XFL, they've since pulled back on this, but they originally said they weren't going to have any players with a criminal record even as much as a DUI. And they realized that wasn't going to...
In a football league?
They realized that wasn't going to happen. So they pulled back on that.
That's not how football works, guys. Especially not if you want to get talented players to compete with the NFL. They're like, we want the guys who didn't make the NFL but also have never had any problems that would mean they wouldn't make the NFL. So only the guys that are not talented enough.
So basically, a whole bunch of white Ivy League football players.
Yeah, and like D2ers is what they would end up with.
Kaepernick has been talking about joining the XFL, but he wants $20 million.
Oh yeah, that's old news.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same demand he made for the AAF. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just says he will only play for $20 million a year now.
You know, Adam Lefkoe apparently, like, he said he sat in on the Colin Kaepernick a negotiation agreement a week ago for whatever reason, but he signed the NDA, obviously.
That's lame.
Yeah.
He should break
it.
He
was like, guess what, guys? I know how much Colin Kaepernick got, but I can't tell you.
That's pretty lame. That's really lame. He should tell us. You should make him tell us.
Tell us.
Speaking of quarterback money, Nick Foles probably going to be making less next season than we originally thought.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably will be making less. I mean, but I can't say for sure. I mean, the NFL look free agent.
I don't know. I think the only team that really makes sense for him is the Jags.
So that's my thing. Is I feel like we're running out of teams that could sign a free agent quarterback and justify it.
Only want and are okay with getting a stopgap guy.
That's what I mean. Like, because if you're signing a free agent quarterback, then you know this guy is not. Because if he's going to market, he's not long term. That's how quarterbacks work. Like Cousins is the best free agent quarterback we've had. I mean, Foles will be the best free agent quarterback we've had since maybe ever, right? You know?
I think the perception was that Kirk Cousins was better before he signed his deal.
Right. So this is we'll see where Foles goes, but I mean that's what I'm saying. It's like the thing is, but who's going to make the Kirk Cousins mistake? Jacksonville is a good one. They might. I could see them doing that absolutely.
Well, I don't think they're going to give him that kind of money and all guaranteed.
No. I mean that deal is disastrous.
I think that's the right move if you're Jacksonville.
To sign him?
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. I mean,
he makes you a lot better.
You were 12-4 with Blake Bortles, and pretty much nothing changed other than Leonard Fournette sucked.
Yeah. Well, and
Blake Bortles sucked more.
Blake Bortles sucked more. So he does, but he fixes. I mean, baseline, he's absolutely better than Bortles, even when he's not doing magic stuff. He will make them better. If you can get him on a deal that's not. I'm not gonna pay the guy to be a top 3 quarterback in the league.
No,
that's absurd.
No, if you can sign for 20 low 20s.
20 to 22 is what I was thinking exactly. If I can get Nick Foles for 2 years, $20 million per, sure. If I'm the Jags, absolutely, that makes sense. Especially, if it's 2 years, $20 million per, $20 million guaranteed, fine. You can cut him after year 1. You basically have, I'm not, and I don't think anyone. You can't. Foles is isn't he 28 or 29 now? He's got to be. You can't be giving the guy a 4-year deal, 5-year deal.
He's older than that.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy that the Eagles aren't as stupid as we thought they were going to be when they were doing this whole franchise and try and trade him idea.
Give us something for a very expensive quarterback.
Yes, which
if 30
and if we hadn't made you give us something, then you would have been able to pay him less to have the same quarterback, but instead give us something. Which, I mean, we made fun of him. I think a lot of people made fun of him, and then they realized that's not a good idea, or maybe it was never, I don't know.
I guess it was worth saying to see if someone would blow up your phone the next day.
True, yeah. If someone was like, hey, you guys are trying to trade Nick, and you just floated out there, we're going to franchise tag Nick and trade him?
How do you guys feel about that?
Just kidding. Yeah, that was a joke. And good call on having that be a joke. Foles, 3rd round draft pick.
Trade Wentz for 3 first rounders.
I don't know if you could get 2 first-rounders for him.
Yeah, I bet you could get like 2 firsts.
Probably
and a
from
4.
somebody, but I don't know. 2 firsts that's a big deal in the NFL. Probably. Yeah, you get 2 firsts for him. I don't think you get 3 firsts, even for Carson Wentz. Last NFL thing is Lev Bell too fat? Question mark.
Yes.
Answer? Question mark.
I don't know, but the Jets think so apparently.
It's not good if he is. That's not what you want out of the guy who has.
Yeah, they've been saying he's clocking in over 260 these days.
That's way too big for Le'Veon Bell, dude.
He's a thick boy.
What's his like listed roster weight? Like last season, he's got 225. That's what I was gonna say. The guy can't be 260. Lev Bell's trainer denies that he got up to 260. Lev Bell makes a joke about it.
All that clubbing and jet skiing.
So that's my thing, man, is if the guy was sitting out this whole season and actually just messed around the whole time and wasn't like...
He wasn't posting workout videos on Instagram, so we can't be sure.
We absolutely can't be sure. It's true. That's why you always got to post your workout videos on Instagram, everybody, so everyone knows that you actually went.
Like, even like AB right now, like there's still no question that he's like dedicated, right?
Yep, because he's live streaming treadmill runs, talking to 10-year-olds or whatever.
That was so clowning.
Hey, yo, AB. Yeah,
did you see that where the kid like did the push-ups? He's like, "You inspire me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 10 more minutes."
It was 5 more minutes. He's not that inspired.
That was clowning, though.
Yeah.
Do it for the big chest. Do it for the big chest.
Mr. Big Chest.
Did you see his comments? Well, actually, so ESPN is about to release one of their conversations on Saturday with Antonio Brown from this week, and they played a little snippet of it today, and he was talking about the GM's comments from like a week ago where he said Ben Roethlisberger has 52 kids under him. He's like, see, like, that's the kind of shit, like, we're not children. Like, I'm very good at what I do. I've made it in this league. I'm not a child.
I just act like it sometimes.
Mr. Big Chest.
Yeah. I'm not paying. I wouldn't pay Lev Bell. This is just I mean, true or not, this... I'm not paying that guy in free agency. The guy who sits out the whole year at running back to be a year older with higher potential. I mean, what happens if he does come in even a little overweight to the point where it's noticeable, and B, he tears a hammy after taking a year off or an Achilles or something like that, one of like those preventable just conditioning injuries? It's totally possible. Somebody's going to sign him to a big deal with a lot of guaranteed money, and then he's never going to be the same. Mark my words. I put a curse on him.
I think he's going to end up on the Texans. That's my pick that I don't hear that many people talking about. It makes too much sense. Their running back is Lamar Miller.
Yeah.
They have the money.
Yeah.
And they're close enough where you could tell yourself we're a Lev Bell away from it being in the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah, they could tell themselves that, but I don't know.
And, like, I mean, everyone,
so.
like, one of the early rumors was the Colts, but, I mean, they have Marlon Mack. He's too good to just, like, let waste and pay $16 million for a slight upgrade.
Any decent running back is too good to pay $16 million for Le'Veon Bell and the amount of headache that this guy is bringing in. That's the other thing. The running back's got to shut up. Because he's disposable.
I'm not worried.
No matter how good he is.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be worried about him in the locker room.
I'm worried. I
don't really think I don't really think he was that cancerous until this last year came.
I have questions about. I mean, I don't know. I think you have to question his attitude and dedication. I'm not saying he's going to go in there and necessarily be starting fights with guys. I just don't want to pay $16 million to a guy who is only going to contribute for 3 years probably at best before he starts breaking down. B, again, barely
I
an
also don't
upgrade
know
over
about
Marlon
that.
Mack.
He's
What's
20
the best case scenario?
He's 26 and he took a year off.
Yeah, so what's the best case scenario? 5 years?
Yeah.
You're not, I mean, these are not long-term players.
No, but I'm sure
And
he's not looking for a
That's
6-year
best case.
deal.
That's best case scenario, by the way. 5 years.
My guess is he's looking for like a 4-year, $70 million. But
Well,
it's probably like 35 guaranteed, 40.
it's too much. I wouldn't do it. Somebody's gonna make a mistake.
I wouldn't pay him.
Will.
Like I think it makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's hard to give that much money to a running back, but if there's anyone it makes sense for, I think it's a team like the Texans.
Yeah, if you have the money, then I suppose, but it's better to spend it than not spend it for sure. But
Mr. Big Chest.
I don't know. And I mean, if he's overweight, I mean, if he's out of condition, and if that to that level, you can look at his dedication, and it's obviously, obvious that he's not all there for your football team, then I wouldn't give the guy $16 million. That is enough of a reason to not make the slight upgrade in production, which I'm going to get from him versus Marlon Mack or whomever, Sony Michel, whoever you pull off the scrap heap, CJ Anderson in the Super Bowl. It's just at the end of the day, in the playoffs, when a defense keys on the running back's probably getting stopped if the defense is any good.
Well, then DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller torch him, They torch him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea for sure. I think you're just as likely. If I'm a defense, I'm not going to key on Le'Veon because I don't think Le'Veon's beating me in the playoffs. That's the best case scenario for a running back is it's Todd Gurley and you just get stopped in the playoffs and become a non-factor.
Yeah, well, Todd Gurley sucks. So.
I mean, career Le'Veon averages 4.3 yards per carry. That's pretty regular. It's good.
He also averages the most scrimmage yards per game of any running back ever.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fair. That's fair. Yeah, 7,000 yards in 5 seasons from scrimmage, basically 8,000 yards in 5 seasons. Yeah, I mean the production is there, but I don't. To me, there's 8,000 yards, but if you I think there's probably at any given time 16 guys in the league who, if you gave them that amount of role, they would have 6,000 yards in 5 years or 7,000 yards in 5 years. I mean, I just think it comes down to usage rate at the end of the day. He's also probably the first running back in history to have over 100 targets in two of his first 5 seasons, and he had 94 in another one. He's had 400.
Christian McCaffrey could do it.
It's possible, but I mean, I'm just saying
he had 100 receptions this year.
I'm saying that Lev Bell also had 400 targets in his first 5 seasons, so he's being used hardcore. 1,200 rushes in 5 seasons. I wouldn't running back that position, not worth it. Just look at the way it translates in the win-loss column. Look at the way it translates in the playoffs. It doesn't, almost 10 times out of 10. Zeke doesn't make a difference. Todd Gurley doesn't make a difference. Saquon absolutely didn't make a difference. It's Leonard Fournette doesn't make a difference and then gets hurt and starts causing problems.
Yeah, well, Leonard Fournette is... Yeah, I don't like Leonard Fournette. I feel like Leonard Fournette, since 14 years old, has been in it for the money.
Well, yeah, that's possible, but still, I'm just saying the talented running back. And I mean, Lev Bell's in it for the money too. He proved that last season.
Yeah,
He's not doing it out of love of the game.
That's true.
Ableton says we're going to be not recording in 60 seconds. Yeah. So
Bruins minute.
we can take a quick break, or we can. The Celtics suck. Kyrie's probably leaving. They've lost 4 straight now. Is it since the All-Star break?
It's not gooch.
This space slow. Thanks, Ableton. I know you told me we had 2 hours. You lying sack. Yeah, I mean, the Celtics are solidly in the 5 seed now. They've, lost 4 straight since the All-Star break. 5 out of their last 6 with Kyrie in the lineup.
Yep. The ship is full on sinking.
It's full on sinking, dude. They're 4-6 in their last 10. We ran out of disk space, but the ship is absolutely sinking.
We were abducted by aliens.
We were briefly abducted by aliens, so we took...
I got fingered.
Did I?
I did.
Okay.
I didn't see you up there.
All right. I don't.
It was all kind of bright.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this. I thought we just took the weirdest timed break in the history of Thrown from the One.
No, I got abducted by aliens and my orifice is explored.
All right. With Jeremy's orifices thoroughly explored, we resume crying about the Celtics, who are 4-6 in their last 10, 5-6 in their last 6 games with Kyrie, 0-4 since the All-Star break. Gordon Hayward looks like
2 max deals.
2 max deals, baby. Kyrie's out. I mean, Kyrie, the body language of the team it's one of the worst looking pro sports teams I've ever seen on the floor right now. I mean, the for a team that's in the 5 seed, it's pretty crazy the amount of yelling at each other on the court they've been doing all year. For a team that was favored to win the East, the amount of yelling at each other they're doing now on the court.
That's why, because they're the 5 seed and they were favored to win the East.
Well, I know,
and they're
but guys,
unimpressive 5 seed.
But guys, part of the
too late.
Part of the problem is that they're yelling at each other. I mean, how good do you want to be, and how much fun do you want to have losing because you hate each other, and then you hate each other because you're losing, and then it's
a vicious cycle.
They're caught. I mean, they're just caught in this in a black Celtics hole. And I think it ends with Kyrie leaving, and we have to refigure this whole thing out again, and it's not good. They lost to the Blazers. They lost to the Blazers and the Bulls in very short order.
The Blazers can't beat a staircase walk.
And they really can. The Blazers are out here getting trapped in elevators and beating the Celtics by 10 points or whatever.
Did you hear about this?
The Raptors beat them. I mean, it was not a game after the second quarter at any point, but
some lower Division I basketball team forgot their uniforms, so they had to wear the other team's away uniforms, and then they won by like 30.
Oh no, dude, that's embarrassing. You get blown out by 30 against
in your own
uniforms. You got to hang them up after that. You got to burn them or something.
Both sets.
That's raw, dude. Yeah, you need new unis, whatever university that is. That sucks, dude. Like the Lakers, who are gonna miss the playoffs with LeBron, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I thought that was impossible.
It did seem like that.
But it also helps when LeBron has no talent around him, which we've seen before, a la the Grady Cleveland teams, which he loved. But
no one took that next step that they needed to, except Kuzma, I guess.
When he has no talent around him and he checks out.
Actually, Brandon Ingram is playing some of the best basketball he's played in the last month.
Probably the best. Yeah, I mean.
But it's all Kuzma and Ingram.
Well, and Ingram
has backtracked. Caldwell Pope sucks.
Useless. Well, and Ingram.
Rajon Rondo
Zubats
sucks.
is gone. Lance Stevenson sucks. JaVale McGee obviously sucks.
Lance Stevenson hits a mean air guitar though. Walk.
Yeah. We need to find a way to post. I have this Lakers fumbling around. They won a game, but not before losing to the Grizzlies and the Pelicans without AD.
Yeah, and then they beat the Pelicans with AD.
Then they beat right. Okay, that's their win. But yeah, the Lakers kind of struggling resulted in a great take on me meme, which is one of my favorite variety of memes. Takes on that song.
Have you seen D-Wade hit the game-winning shot a couple nights ago, and he had like new like all braided hair, so they're calling him D-Braid.
He has braids now?
Yeah, look it up.
D Wade has braids?
Yeah, he hit the game-winning shot like 2 nights ago in Miami, so they're calling him D-Braid.
Let's just find a picture. Oh, he does have braids now. I don't mind that.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I just thought it was funny.
D-braid. All right, I'm down. Last things last, Jeremy. It's time for the Bruins Minute.
Boop-a-doo-doo,
They beat
boop-a-doo-doo-doo, hockey.
Best team in hockey tonight, 4-1 in the Tampa Bay Lightning. 2 nights ago, I believe, they beat another one of the best teams
What happened to
in
the
hockey.
Las Vegas Golden Knights, dude?
The Knights are okay. They are looks like 4th in the West.
I saw someone wearing a Golden Knights sweatshirt on campus the other day.
That's pretty questionable.
It is questionable.
I don't know why anyone would be a fan of that team.
You can't develop fandoms after 10 years old.
No, not that fast. In a year of a brand new hockey franchise in Vegas, there's too many question marks there.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't trust that.
Like, I'm pretty not unreceptive because I'm down, but I personally don't see myself getting into hockey just because Seattle gets a team, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, and I mean, getting into a sport is another thing, also, though.
Yeah,
it would be different. Like if Seattle gets another basketball team, regardless of whether or not it's the Sonics or not, you're going to become a fan of that team. So
that's true.
I think, but
it'll be the Sonics, though.
But unless you're from Vegas, it's pretty sus to become a Golden Knights fan in any capacity.
And no one is from Vegas,
and not really anyone is from Vegas,
or
for
they're
that
just
matter.
like.
They're still there, probably.
Yeah.
But
that's right. Our native Vegas listeners, we think you're garbage.
I hope no one from Vegas is listening.
Hey,
I'd be surprised. No.
We're getting the Raiders.
Jeremy, the Bruins actually have a legit chance to win the Stanley Cup this year. They made a couple minor trades at the deadline, which I didn't think were going to be that big of a deal. Both guys.
Where are we in the hockey season?
3/4 of the way.
Wow.
65 games played out of 82.
But I feel like I've heard even less about hockey this year than usual.
That I don't know if that's the case. I mean, there hasn't been.
I feel like I haven't heard anything since Alex Ovechkin was clubbing with the goddamn Stanley
so
Cup.
That's what I was gonna say. Is if you're an ESPN level hockey fan, they pretty much only cover Ovechkin and the Golden Knights. So you wouldn't hear about hockey if
what
Ovechkin
about
and the
Sidney
Golden
Crosby,
Knights.
dude?
They don't care about Crosby's not that sexy anymore. People forget about Crosby.
Well, Alex
Crosby
Ovechkin,
for
I
the-
don't think has ever been sexy.
No, he is sexy on SportsCenter. He's not. He doesn't have
Russian sexy.
sex appeal, but his shot from the face-off circle
Not
is
like
everybody's
Connor
favorite
McDavid.
hockey thing.
In that hunk of meat.
Yeah, now Drew McDavid's on SportsCenter now. Out of nowhere, the Bruins are right there. They played well earlier in the year, then they started playing bad. They're playing good again, but now they're like really playing good. They're playing. I mean, it's them in Tampa Bay right now. They're number 2 in everybody's power rankings. I don't know, man. They got the way the NHL playoffs work. You play your division in the first 2 rounds, so they got Tampa in the second round, which it means they're probably, no matter how good they do, they're probably getting knocked out in the second round because Tampa's still a wagon.
How are the Florida Panthers doing?
Bad, as
I have a friend who works for
they're
the Florida
mediocre.
Panthers. He's from Edmonton, but for some reason loves the Florida Panthers.
He loves the Panthers.
Yeah.
That's quite strange.
Yeah, it is.
The Panthers did have, I think they actually had a couple good seasons.
Yeah, I think they were good last year. Didn't they make the playoffs at least?
I don't know if they made the playoffs last year. No, but I mean, I think they made a Stanley Cup run at one point, I want to say. They didn't win it. They absolutely didn't win it, but never mind. They only have one conference championship in 95. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Anyway, that's been your Hockey Minute. And that's been episode 34 of Thrown from the One.
Wait, what about NASCAR?
No,
the Huskies got ranked.
Daytona 500 did happen, actually.
The Huskies got ranked.
I don't know who won it.
Huskies are 25th overall. Wow. Finally.
Even though they can only
Respect.
beat Pac-12 teams. Even though they can only beat Pac-12 teams.
Well, we haven't played anyone outside the Pac-12 since January.
Because they can't beat anyone.
Early January. No, just because the whole last 3 quarters.
I don't trust them.
3 quarters of the schedule is all Pac-12 conference play.
Maybe they should schedule some challenging games.
Well, that's what all of the Pac-12 does. They play their out-of-conference game, start the season, and then they play the Pac-12 for the rest of the season, which I think is dumb. But